It is now my displeasure to introduce collaborating with me, Tom Jenks. So as ever, when Tom and I collaborate, which we've done a few times, I suggest we write a poem, and Tom says no. Steve, you're travelling up from this nation's capital, and what can you give to the filthy, unwashed, lumpen proletariat of the northern wastes? And as a member of London's intelligentsia, I felt that we could do something a lot more practical this evening. And that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to talk about how to survive the post-European age, which we're about to enter. Steve, as you can probably tell by looking at him, maybe you could see him, that is. If you look at the jacket, you know, the hair, the vegan footwear, you can see he's a bit of a alarmist, woke, snowflake sort of person. And he likes to play up his metropolitan credentials, but as everybody knows, he has just come here directly from Norwich. So we're going to offer, but it is a difficult moment we're entering into, but we have been in these difficult moments before. And if you think back to the 70s and 80s when we were under the threat of nuclear annihilation, for instance, those happy times, and the government produced this document here, which was called Protect and Survive, and we found it would be very useful to revisit this for the times we're in now.
Yeah, so this is a post-European guide for an English poet. As you will see on the first slide, post-Europe everyone will become orange and we're forced to mate, we'll be encircled. And it really is, thinking of the fear that is coming, time to grab onto your Polish wife or Romanian husband, because your children in the future will all be deemed English. Next slide, please, Harry.
But there'll be homes fit for heroes, as there should be. I mean, perfectly well inside a wardrobe. My great-grandfather survived the Boer War inside a wardrobe by disguising himself as a pair of trousers. You can find him complaining, not even when he got ironed. Next slide, please, Harry.
It is time to hoard. Go to your nearest supermarket, find the European foods that you love so much, be it tagliatelle or bow pasta or French onion soup, whatever it is you like. Put that in black bin bags, slam your doors, and then put your fingers. Next slide, please, Harry.
As you can see, we have a protective structure here. I mean, Jerry's not knocking this wall down. Little bags here. One of these bags has actually got my good lady wife inside. She stitched herself in during Antiques road trip. We were watching it one night. She got a bit worried people were going to come for our thimbles. But I think it's that one, or maybe that one. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, she's in one of them. Next slide, please, Harry.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to learn to love English food again, so root vegetables, canned tomatoes, corn, spam, horseradish, sodium, curry, dripping, and all of these things will have to be bought from Marks and Sparks, Sainsbury's or Tesco's, no more Aldi or Lidl. So next slide, please, Harry.
So we recommend one bucket for custard, one bucket for gravy. Proper British food, as it always has been. You can see in this illustration here, this man burning his recipe books. I mean, I got stuck in a revolving door once with a hairy bikers. It was a terrible experience. It took weeks to get that garlic mayonnaise off my briefcase. Next slide, please, Harry.
It's time to turn your bathtub into a coffin, and inside of that coffin seal your hopes, your dreams, your ability to travel without a visa. And it's also an excellent time to store up insolvents or any really flammable accelerant in case you need to burn yourself alive post-Europe. Next slide, please.
But what you have to remember is they need us more than we need them. And they're queuing up to put shea butter on top. Jeremy Corbyn, as is known, never dries himself properly. He just stands next to the airblade, the Dyson airblade in KFC, or he just lies in the grass like a dog. Next slide, please, Harry.
The European eyebrow, say goodbye to that. You're going to have to get that tattooed on you, the wave symbol now, to keep us from the new armada. And you can perhaps get that on your forearm, like one of those hipsters from Paris or Vienna that you love so much. Next slide, please.
I don't really listen to the radio very much these days. Ken Bruce won't have me on Podmaster. He knows I'm poning. I've heard, I like post-apocalyptic dramas, 12 Monkeys, Mad Max, Newsnight, that sort of thing. Next slide, please, Harry.
Run to the Bureau de Change while you still can. They're going to change that to the Office of Change. And if you enjoy European cinema, get yourself a blanket, a ditch, maybe watch a strange, ambiguous French film that's very slow moving with a young, beautiful woman and an older man. Next slide.
Here we have a fire. Who started the fire? Well, it wasn't Billy Joel. Don't blame Billy Joel. And you know, an interesting fact, Cliff Richard's actually lined with asbestos, which is why he's never been demolished. He's a fantastic example of great British resilience. Next slide, please, Harry.
Billy Joel is European, so say goodbye to Billy Joel. What we've got now is Ian Brown, Lisa Stansfield, and the other remnants of the British and Manchester music scene. Please take down your neck curtains as well. They're probably European and they stink. Next slide, please.
Knots are going to be very important. I mean, the future of Britain depends upon knots. Donald Tusk actually can't tie his own shoelaces. Have you ever seen Donald Tusk's feet? And Michel Barnier never wears any socks. He thinks he's in Miami Vice. Next slide, please, Harry.
It is time to prepare. Any minute now we might have another no vote and another no deal and nothing will change, but it will change for the worse without a doubt. Next slide, please, Harry.
So here we sort of see a family spending some quality time together. A family that plays together, stays together. In the evenings we like to sing the songs of Ed Sheeran together. Me on vocals and tambourine and my wife on bassoon and cheese grater. Next slide, please, Harry.
Very good. As part of the new non-European England, we're going to have to take 3 of the stars from the EU flag, and each represents one of the Queen's corgis, and we'll have to turn them orange, the stars, not the corgis. And then once we have these orange stars, we tattoo them on our knees like the Russian billionaires who own London. Next slide, please.
An Englishman's home is his castle, and his castle is his garage. I keep my exercise bike in my garage. I spend a lot of time on my exercise bike. I mean, I once cycled for 8 hours all the way to Wetherspoons, but unfortunately they were out of salad cream. Next slide, please, Harry.
It's time to make our own toilets, and it's time to be free of those EU regulations around English dumps. First thing to do, take a chair, cut out the seat, then get a bin underneath it, a nice English bin bag. Get yourself some TCP to clean your wink hole. Next slide.
So here's a poem that I wrote. This came to me in the middle of the night. I wrote it down on the nearest thing to hand, which was my loyalty card for Toby Carvery. So I don't know if you've heard of Toby Carvery. It's like British Nando's, but with better condiments and sage and onion stuffing. Next slide, please, Harry.
This is actually a Tom Jenks visual poem. It's a metaphor for something I don't quite understand. I think it's something to do with not having to look Europeans in the eye. Next slide, please.
Here we see a towel. You look how wonderfully soft this towel is. That's because it used to belong to Lady Diana. And I myself, I get through a gallon of Listerine a month, just like Jacob Rees-Mogg. Next slide, please, Harry.
Do you know where your cat was born? Because it's Spanish, it's getting deported. So get your tissues ready, it'll be the last trip to the kitty litter for your cat. Next slide, please.
Avoid waste. It's a story in my family about how my father, the first time he cooked for my mother, he made her a meal out of potato peelings and leftover ham. Delicious. What was the pudding, you might ask? Well, there wasn't any. In those days, people used to stick their fingers in treacle and suck them. Next slide, please, Harry.
I definitely think France has the bomb. Probably Latvia too, and I would imagine probably Poland. So their giant orange waves are going to come and destroy our liquor. So disintegration. Next slide, please.
They think they can trick us by, I've really seen these things, they put stones in the pears and they call them avocados. But they reckon without the great British stone removing implement, which is there, with a beach handle and also fully retractable. Next slide, please, Harry.
Winter is coming, so you need to wrap up warm, and tomorrow is the premiere of the final season of Game of Thrones, so we do have something to look forward to, thank God. Next slide, please, Harry.
Yes, just a reminder just to keep this booklet handy. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.